Welcome back to another episode of Dead by Daylight Myths Busted. This is a series in which you guys submit edge case scenarios for specific perks or abilities and I investigate whether or not they work. Please stop telling me that these aren't really myths. I know that they're not, but calling the series 12 potentially interesting combinations of perks and killer powers that aren't likely to come up in the game but reveal how the underlying code behind features of the game operate busted isn't a great title, is it? So chill, guys. Chill. Before we get on with the myths, it's time to congratulate today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, on their 3rd anniversary of being one of the top mobile RPGs in the world. These guys started strong and never slowed their pace. Even after establishing themselves as one of the lead mobile games, they still managed to add huge amounts of new content and game modes every couple of months, such as the Doom Tower, a game mode which introduced a whole world of new and terrifying bosses to slay, sprawling over 120 levels. Bosses and heroes, despite already having hundreds of unique characters and bosses at launch, check out these awesome sketches. Shadowkin, an entirely new faction featuring some of the coolest looking battle-hardened warriors in the entire game, and the Hydra Clan boss, the newest and largest addition to the game, with multiple heads, each with a different ability with a different strategy required to destroy. Here's the thing, you chop off one of those heads, one grows back to take its place. That's quite a challenge, but the Hydra drops some of the best artifacts in the game. I can keep going on about Raid Shadow Legends. It's the perfect game for all player types. If you want to just play casually and just dive in occasionally, you can do that. If you want to spend hundreds of hours mastering everything, you can do that too. The choice is yours. To celebrate the 3-year anniversary, they've got a huge amount of things in store. They're kicking it off with free gifts for everyone, then adding in a bunch of new champions, artifact sets, and a fully personalized video showing off every Raid player's journey in their own personal achievements. This is the best time to get started in Raid, and if you're not playing it yet, you can hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to get a special huge B-Day package worth $40. We're talking 3 free champions, 10 magic XP brews, 10 force XP brews, and 10 spirit brews. That's huge. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. This will only be available for the next 30 days and only for new players. If you're an existing Raid player, you can also get a bunch of birthday gifts worth over $25. Once you're in game, after clicking on the link, just enter promo code 3YearsRaid to get your hands on everything. It's that easy. Click the link in the description and I'll see you in game. Stakeout activates Gearhead. This one was submitted by Guy Allen. Stakeout is a survivor perk that gains a token every 15 seconds that you're standing in the killer's terror radius without being chased. When completing a good skill check, a token is consumed and that skill check is considered a great skill check. Gearhead is a killer perk that activates after a survivor loses a health state. When a survivor succeeds a great skill check or repairing, their aura is revealed to you for 10 seconds. So, will a stakeout good to great skill check cause Gearhead to proc? Let's find out. Pain Resonance overrides Call of Brine's regression penalty. This one was submitted by that one Buster Blader main. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance causes the generator with the most progress to explode, instantly losing 15% of its progression and starting to regress when hooking a survivor on one of the 4 Scourge Hooks. Call of Brine causes a generator to regress at 200% speed and have its aura revealed to you for 60 seconds when kicking it. But will a rapidly regressing generator afflicted with Call of Brine have its 200% speed progress overwritten by Pain Resonance? Let's take a look. Pinhead's teleport can be interrupted with a stun. This one was submitted by Pug Whisperer. When Pinhead teleports, he has to charge up a short animation. But what would happen if you stunned him while this animation is playing? Will the teleport be interrupted? Clairvoyance can be used to block Tombstone Myers. This one was submitted by Freddy Fazbear. Clairvoyance is a survivor perk that activates after you cleanse a totem, not a token, that doesn't make any sense. When empty-handed and pressing the ability button, you can see the auras of all exit gate switches, generators, hooks, chests, and the hatch within 64 meters for 10 seconds. There's a rumor going around that this perk is currently bugged, however, and can be used to prevent Myers' Tombstone add-ons, which would normally allow him to instantly Mori you. Let's take a look. For the People grants the killer a Remember Me stack. This one was submitted by Nick P. Remember Me gains a stack each time the obsession loses a health state. In the past, we've looked at similar perks and found that they don't gain tokens when the health state decrease is self-inflicted via For the People, a perk that allows you to trade a health state with another survivor when healthy. But is that the case for Remember Me? Let's find out. The Deathslinger's ringing audio cue will not play when you're out of his terror radius. This one was submitted by Cav. When the Deathslinger aims at a survivor, that survivor hears a ringing sound warning them of an impending shot. But will this sound effect play when out of the Deathslinger's terror radius and within the range of the harpoon? It's important to note here the sound effect will only play when within the range of the gun, which is 18 meters. The Deathslinger's terror radius is 32 meters. Jeez, they really took the jump scares out of his design, didn't they? We can reduce this terror radius by 4 meters with his add-on Marshall's badge, and then by a further 8 meters with Gold Creek Whiskey. That's still 20 meters, however, so we need to reduce it further, which we can do by using the perk Monitor and Abuse, which reduces it by 16 meters when outside of a chase. It also increases it by 8 meters, so it's only really a reduction of 8 meters. But yeah, that's now 12 meters, so less than the range of the harpoon. Let's investigate. The answer here is going to be revealed by whether or not we can shoot the person without them hearing the ringing audio cue. It's faster to hold W rather than S when reeling a survivor in with Deathslinger. This one was submitted by Bellin Frankie. Another Deathslinger one. At least this is a little easy to look at. Is it faster holding W or S when reeling a survivor with the Deathslinger? Let's find out. You'll still be healed when cleansing with a deep wound. This one was submitted by Cutting Actions Buddies. Usually you're healed when cleansing against the plague, but what will happen if you've got an active deep wound and cleanse before the timer runs out? Will the deep wound persist despite you being healthy? Let's take a look. DS is deactivated when using a strength to heal. This one was submitted by Jonas Riha. Decisive Strike deactivates when healing yourself or other survivors, but will it deactivate when jumping in a locker to use inner strength to heal? If not, you'll be able to have DS up while healthy. Let's take a look. Hoarder activates when a videotape is collected from a TV. This one was submitted by FrogChamp. Hoarder is a killer perk that triggers a loud noise notification whenever a survivor picks up any item. But will it activate when collecting a videotape from a TV? Let's find out. This is one of those ones where some of you were like, well, obviously it does, duh, but there you go. So, shut your face. Blast Mine activates parental guidance. This one was submitted, but not reading that name. Mr. Gurr, thank you for the submission. This one has been submitted as a fun fact, so presumably it works. Blast Mine allows you to set a trap on a generator that stuns the killer when kicked. Parental Guidance suppresses your scratch marks, pools of blood, and grunts of pain for 7 seconds when stunning the killer. It's meant to be designed around pallet stuns and the like, but does it work remotely with Blast Mine? Let's find out. And finally, you can pallet stun a phasing spirit. This one was submitted by Iron Board. I don't actually know what happens when you do this to a husk or when she's actually mid-phase, so let's test both scenarios and find out what happens. have it. Another 12 DBD myths busted. Okay, so I haven't oiled in a month. Sorry about that. A huge thank you to those of you who have stayed as patrons during this time of little content. Chipstar878, Think Sometimes, Joelbrook182, Kurt Gardner, and Mike Rosesoft. I love you guys. Thank you. And everyone that's subscribed on Twitch, and everyone that's just subscribed on YouTube. You know, it's nice. And also a big thank you to Who is Rice, Kuleki, Tabasco Raccoon, Housey, Thonk Sometimes, Chipstar878 again, Max Rougemans, Meme Lord, Polyhuman, and Alfonso R for being members. Alfonso, Polyhuman have been members for 14 months. That's mad. So thank you guys so much as well for staying members on YouTube. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.